Okay, we're ready to get started. We'll start this evening with Jared Unruh, the chaplain at the YMCA, leading us in our invocation.
Right. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, the only true God, you are worthy of all glory and honor. So let your praise be on our hearts and minds this evening. Lord, what an extraordinary gift of grace that you've given to the Enid community and the men and the women who spend their time and energy educating the students. Lord, we ask that you stir in our community deep appreciation for our teachers, administration, and their families. Forgive us, Lord, when we minimize and belittle and take for granted their sacrifices. We ask that you would raise up more teachers who will give their lives to educate the next generation. Jesus, you are the good shepherd who lays down his life for his sheep, who protects his own. In this same way, we ask that you protect our students, teachers, and administration. Lord, would you make Enid schools a safe place, both physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Lord, remember this school board tonight as they make decisions. Would you give them unity and wisdom and clarity of vision as they steward and govern? We give you thanks in the name of Jesus Christ, your Son. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jared. Call the meeting to order. We will start with roll call. Colonel Little, I'm told that she will be here in a moment. Matt Lohman. Present. Joe Blackwood. Absent. Randy Long. Here. Kim Tinius.
Here.
Tori Turnbow.
Present.
Matt Sampson. Absent. And Chad Mance. Present. Takes us to item 1A, presentations. Jane.
Our spotlight student this evening that's going to lead us in the pledge is from Eisenhower Elementary School, and her principal, Ms. Murphy, is going to introduce her.
Good afternoon. Our star student is Lillian Badger, and her parents are Mr. and Mrs. Badger, and her father's active duty Advanced Air Force Base. School activities, she's in my leadership, she's in our choir. In leadership, she leads Rise and Shine almost every morning, and sometimes she helps Dr. Murphy. In choir, she's on her way to Circle the State. Her activities include volleyball and swimming. She's in her second year of volleyball and recently passed stage 4 in swimming. Her hobbies are reading and gaming. Since the new year, she's read 17 hours and finished books. I like to play games like Roblox and Minecraft. I am most proud of that I've gotten straight A's since I have moved here into 3rd grade. And this is Lillian Badger.
Ask everybody to stand. Say, please stand.
Would you please stand?
Presentation of colors by the Enid High School Air Force JROTC.
Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, on!
For you, and we would love
Lillian, thanks for coming out tonight.
You did a great
Appreciate
job.
you leading us in the pledge.
Will you come over here and take a picture with our board president?
Lillian, thanks again. Let's give her a round of applause, everyone.
Our secondary spotlight student is from Enid High School. Mr. Craig Liddell, head principal, is going to introduce them.
Thank you, Mrs. Johnson. Good evening, Dr. Darrow, board members, everyone present this evening. Have an absolute pleasure of introducing a junior from Enid High School, Addie Mers. Addie is the daughter of Judy Ross, who's a teacher at Waller Middle School, and spent quite a bit of time with Addie recently in multiple ventures, one of them being our strategic planning. She's going to touch on that and share quite a few details. She's very well rounded in our school and has a great impact on our campus, and she's pretty awesome. So I'll let her take the mic. Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name's Addie. I'm a junior at Enid High School. I'm an honors and AP student. I'm also in STUCO and our principal's advisory committee with Liddell. I'm an NHS officer. I'm also in yearbook, and I'm a student athletic trainer. In the past few weeks, we've been working on something with, the K-20 Center? And we've been working a lot with them one-on-one and trying to figure out a 5-year plan for the district. We've made a podcast about this plan. What all did we make? We did data analysis. We made initiatives on what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it. There was the community there was students there. There was everyone there, pretty much everyone. We made a lot of connections in the community with different business owners, with Dr. Darrow, with different members of the board, different members of the community. We really focused, my group really focused on the teachers and what we can do to help them teach better and do better. Thank you. We would just like to thank you all for this opportunity on how we can improve the district, and we would like to thank Dr. Darrow for him and just letting us be a part of this. We would like to thank the board members, the teachers that were with us, the teachers that teach us every day, and pretty much anyone else who allows me to help, since it is a pretty big time commitment. Being a student athletic trainer, I'm pretty much one-on-one with different athletes every day. We make sure that they're healthy and that they're taken care of when they're at practice, even when they're out of practice. It's a very big time commitment. Julie and Kayla, our head trainers, they really keep us going, because without them we wouldn't really be able to do any of it. And we do a lot. It's a big time commitment, but they make sure that we get it all done.
Well, thanks for coming out, Addie, and thank you for participating in the strategic plan, and we're going to hear more from you a little bit later tonight.
At this time, I'd like to ask Justin DeClerc, our boys and girls high school cross-country coach, to come and tell us about some awards that his cross-country runners received.
Good evening, everybody. Just want to take a moment, thank Dr. Darrow and the EPS board members for allowing me to be here and celebrate these student athletes. Receiving an academic award during cross-country season is a significant honor that reflects a balance of dedication, hard work, and commitment. At the beginning of the school year and into the fall, training for races becomes a daily ritual. demanding both physical and mental endurance. However, the challenge of maintaining academic excellence while pushing the limits in long-distance running adds another layer of achievement to this honor. Right now, I'm going to announce the Pacer cross-country team. Girls, so when I say your name, please step forward. First, we have Camry Carmichael, Maddie Diaz, Sophia Falk, Roxanne Frisbee, Cassidy Lebeda, Lupita Munoz-Neri, and Esmeralda Solis. Our Pacers have received the OSSAA Distinguished Academic Achievement Award, which recognizes a varsity level team with a minimum of a 3.5 GPA and a ranking in the upper 10% of 6A cross country. Thank you, ladies. Now I will introduce the Plainsmen. Gentlemen, please step forward as I call your name. Chase Cottarello, Jose Hernandez, Blake Jensen, Landon Jung, Carson LaRue, Carson Nault, and Matthew Reams. The Plainsmen received the OSSAA Academic Achievement Award, which recognizes a varsity level team with a minimum of a 3.25 GPA or above and ranked in the top 30% of 6A cross country. In conclusion, the honor of receiving an academic award during cross-country season is a testament to the ability to balance rigorous training with academic responsibilities. It highlights the dedication it takes to succeed and is a powerful reminder the commitment to academic and athletic pursuits can lead to remarkable accomplishments. Thank you all again, and go Big Blue.
Parents, if you want to come on down and grab a picture, feel free to. Congratulations, kids, and thanks again for coming out tonight.
All right. Get in there, Coach. Get in there, Chad. There we go. There we go. All right, boys, step in between the girls. We can see them. There you go. There you go. Come on, Carson, on this side. Blake.
Do we need to bend down?
We don't need to see your all things in the back. We're not going to see them anyway. Here we go. Yeah. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
All right, one more round of applause. Cross country, good job this year across the board.
That's a great accomplishment. And our last recognition for the evening, Miss Casey Cox, one of our head POM coaches, is going to tell us about 2 of her young ladies.
Good evening. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here to showcase 2 of our POM team members tonight. Piper Tucker is also a co-coach with myself, but she teaches dance at Hype Dance in the evenings, so she was unable to make it. This evening, I have the honor of introducing 2 outstanding members of our team who have been selected for POM All-State, Camry Carmichael and Shade McFarland. We are incredibly proud to have the 2 of them as part of our team and to see them represent not only our school, but also our POM team at a statewide level. First of all, Camry Carmichael. Camry. She has participated in varsity POM, show choir, cross country, and track throughout her last 4 years at Enid High School. She has been in competitive dance for 13 years and has won many awards each year at competitions. Additionally, Camry has participated in the school musical each year. She plans to continue to pursue dance in college and major in business. Shade McFarland plans to attend the University of Oklahoma and major in kinesiology in hopes of becoming an orthopedic physical therapist. Shade is involved in varsity pom, golf, student council, and National Honor Society at Enid High School. She has competed at state representing Enid Pom for 3 years and is also a competitive dancer for Hype Dance Productions. We are so proud of the hard work and determination of both girls, and we can't wait to see what the future holds for each of them. Please join me in congratulating Camry and Shade on this remarkable achievement.
Congrats, Cambry. Congrats, Shade. Thanks for coming out tonight, and congratulations, girls.
Thank you, Jane. Takes us to,
Come on up, Colonel Little. Come on. We're
ready for you.
Come on. We got some goodies up here, too, for you. You're okay.
Okay, that takes us to item 2, audience to visitors. We have one visitor to speak, Jenny Scott with EEA.
Good evening. On behalf of the Enid Education Association and the teachers who belong to our organization, we want to thank you all for donating your time and energy to the children of Enid. You're charged with making decisions that help not just your children, but all children, and we are so grateful. We are hoping to give you a little token that may help on one of those many, many busy evenings. So thank you again.
Thank you. Right, that takes us to item 3, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Darrow.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to continue with what Ms. Scott said in case everyone doesn't realize with all the goodies and posters around us, but it is School Board Appreciation Month, and we certainly appreciate all the Enid Public Schools Board of Education. Recently, Miranda helped with a press release this past week, and it is at your area. I'm going to read a couple lines out of it, but school board members are essential in ensuring student success. We're incredibly thankful for the passion of our public educators and support of our EPS students. We are very proud of our board members here at Enid Public Schools. We look forward every year to taking the time to say thank you. So you got some goodies there at your area. A big thank you for what you do every day. It's thanks for the community, the school, and the kids. Big thank you. Saying that, and there's plenty of goodies and cards that can last a while as well. I'll go on to item B, and that is our report from Mrs. Leslie Wickert. Ms. Wickert is here to report to us on federal programs. She's got a handout in front of you also, and I just want to brag on Leslie real quick. Leslie does a lot of stuff behind the scenes and takes care of us and keeps the ball rolling and takes care of the needs of our kids. So saying all that, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Wickert.
All right, thank you. Good evening. So I have brought just a quick presentation and kind of a summary of this year's federal programs in our English Language Learners department. So the front page kind of gives a summary on the left side of all our different programs that we get to offer to our kiddos and to our schools. I will bring attention to you that Title III Immigrant, on the right side with the budget summary. We have Title III is 2 categories, is EL and an immigrant. This year we received immigrant funding in addition to the EL funding, and that depends on our immigrant numbers, depending on 2% increase, and their wonderful formulas that the State Department like to bring in. But we did get immigrant funding again this year, or in addition to this year. We also got an additional funding of Title V, which is RLIS money, which is rural low income. We had that a couple years prior to the COVID years, and so I think with the additional money, and Dr. Robinson, you can cut in, but with the new and the additional funding coming in through ESSER funds, it kind of adjusted that formula and kind of took those ARLIS funds away. But now that we're kind of, the ESSER funds have dropped off, that we receive the ARLIS back again. So I foresee those to continue, but again, every year is kind of different depending on the State Department's formulas and how they like to adjust things. But again, kind of shows you on the left side of how we spend those funds and what they are for. Below those program budget summary, I did include just a brief timeline of what the allocation timeline allows us due to the State Department. I know there's been some talk, from this year about when are we getting our allocations? Are the state holding on to our allocations and so forth? So I just kind of put this year, this is what our allocations look like. We were a little late getting them, but we did get them. We had some revisions through the State Department, but we're moving forward and we're moving as usual, as we should. Below that is kind of our percentages by sites. Again, I'm not going to go by each one of them, but that kind of what determines each site and how the allocations are divvied up, basically, by sites. And then you can see our district is a 78.66%. Below that are currently what we are paying personnel with our federal programs through all of the programs. It's not just the Title I, but it's all of the federal programs together. And then below that is some of the expenditures that we include on some of these funds. Again, that is so limited. If I listed everything, we'd have probably a book. So it's basically based on what the school needs. We do needs assessments. We do surveys to determine what those expenditures will be each year. Any questions on federal programs? Good. Okay, so on the back side is just a brief recap or a brief summary of our Title III, which is our English Language Proficiency and Immigrant program. So just kind of some numbers. We had the number of our EL students this year is 1,719 students, which is 23% of our population. That has been held steady for the last couple of years. It's gone from 23 to 24. Just kind of depends on our EL population and also our total student population. We have bilingual only students. That is so just a brief explanation, our EL students automatically qualify for bilingual. But we have a category that's called bilingual only that brings in additional funding to the district. So that's audits the process that we have to go through each year to determine how many of those students actually qualify as bilingual only. So that just kind of gives you those numbers as 562. And then our number of immigrant students are 228 this year. In the middle is something that I was kind of proud of this year. This is kind of an overcap of our WIDA assessment, which is our annual assessment that our EL students are required to take. It's a federal law to measure their language proficiency. I will say, and this is my opinion, but it's also a lot of EL coordinators in our consortium, that the WIDA is a very difficult test. It's a very difficult language assessment test that they have to measure their academic language, and it's very difficult for our kiddos. So I was kind of proud. The one column that I wanted to show you is the score increase column. This year, I will say probably, and I've been doing this, I've been in the district for 25 years, and I've been involved with this for about 25 years. This last year was probably the biggest score increase of our students that I've seen within the years. I know our teachers in our schools have been trying to think out of the box to do different things to get these students invested in this assessment. The sad thing about this assessment is there's no carrot for the students. They don't need it to graduate. They don't need it to get into college. They don't need it. It's just for us to language or to measure their language. So it's hard to get them invested in this assessment. But I say our staff, our students, our teachers have done extra well last year to do that. And so as you can see in the very last column, you can kind of see by the students of improvement of this year, we had 78% in elementary, we had 39% in middle school, 57 in high school, and a total overall is about, I have to put my glasses on, 62% of an increase. So I was very pleased on that. At the bottom, just a quick additional resources other than what we have on the front with the federal program resources. These are addition to for our EL students that we bring into the district. We have the ELD classes at the secondary level. We have our Newcomer Academy, which this year we had a enrollment of 34 middle school students and 28 high school students. That's what our enrollment. And then I'm happy to say that we are able to give our students a high school credit and a high school English credit and a high school English history credit working with the high school teachers there at Lincoln Academy. So that's something that they get to do at the newcomer program going in to the high school. And again, we have Jennifer Fields, which is our Marshallese Family Community Resource Coordinator that works with our Marshallese liaisons with 5th and District. And we have Brenda Garcia, which is our Hispanic Family Community Resource Coordinator that works within our Hispanic liaisons within the district. That's kind of a long, kind of windy, but do you have any questions?
Any questions for Ms. Wickert? Well, Leslie, I speak for everyone here. We all appreciate the job you do, and you do a lot of work behind the scenes to keep the ball rolling, and thank you. You do a great job. Thanks for the report.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to item C, and I've asked Jeff Herbal, our IT director, to come speak to us tonight and touch on something that's been in the media quite a bit. Power School, as you might have heard, I emailed you, Power School was recently attacked. Enid Public Schools wasn't, but Power School was. And Jeff, can you kind of give us some high points here? And he's actually prepared a document as well. So if you want to take a look at that, I'll turn it over to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Dr. Darrow. Just a brief update. Power School was made aware of their breach on December 28th. They started investigating that and notified schools on January 7th of this year. The breach happened between a third-party product they have called PowerSource, which is it used to be a ticketing system and a training system that has a connection into Power School. What happened is there was a service account that was out on the dark web, and someone got it and tested it, and it worked. So they logged in. They were able to access Power School through PowerSource, so it's going through a third-party backdoor into Power School. And they were able to get into multiple systems. We've been notified that our data was breached. However, we have not been able to determine any data that was accessed at that time. We continue to work with Power School to help determine that. Power School did come out last Friday and state that they will be providing that's the third bullet. They will be providing complimentary identity protection to all students and educators whose information was accessed. So hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll be able to determine if any was determined and who those individuals will be. Power School will be notifying them directly. Won't be go through to us. They'll be using that information to contact them. So I wanted to just point out our systems were not accessed. The Enid Public Schools internal network was not accessed. This was a third-party access through an external resource and did not breach any of our security measures in-house. So I would open that up for any questions.
Jeff, and just for everybody's sake, Power School is huge.
Power School is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They have
global
18,000. The number is staggering. It's like 60,000 students with thousands and thousands of school districts around the world that are part of Power School. So it is one of the largest data breaches in the world. Power School has stated that the person that stole the data contacted them and they paid some money to watch them delete the data. And the person has certified that they did not sell the data to anyone else or leaked it anywhere else. So Power School is working on that premise, but they have to trust the bad actors. So, and unfortunately, it was a username and password that was on the dark web that someone found. So that's why the simplest things of securing your username and password are very important to us. That's why we use multi-factor authentication, and we did have everyone that is connected to Power School change their password just out of an abundance of caution, and we do that. We require our users to change it every year, and all of our users from superintendent down to teachers use multi-factor authentication as a second level of protection. If they'd had a multi-factor on that account, it wouldn't have gotten hacked. So.
Jeff, thanks for doing the legwork. Any questions for Mr. Herbal? Thank you, and thanks for keeping us safe. Excuse me. Okay, that takes us to item D. Just want to report on student enrollment numbers. Right now, we're pretty comparable to where we were last month, which is still down from last year. We're hovering around 73-43 today, 73-43, which again, that's pretty consistent to last month to where I reported, and still down from last year. Saying that, I'm going to roll into item E, which is our capacity and intra-district transfer numbers this is actually an action item, that we need to seek your approval on. As we start the second semester, we have to do this every quarter. So the capacity numbers that we're proposing are the same capacity numbers that we've had thus far and for several years now. And the intra-district transfers numbers are on that packet, I believe, to the far right. This is something that's new from the State Department, but I think it's very self-explanatory. Happy to answer any questions from you all, but I just seek your approval to get this recorded.
Okay, I have a motion from Matt Lohman.
I second.
And we got a second from Kim Tinius. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Okay, Tori?
Just, I know there's been a lot of thought go into this, but looking at just our pre-K numbers and our capacity versus enrollment, we're over on 98% of our buildings on pre-K. Have we looked at adjusting capacity at any of those buildings?
So capacity, the way it's reported here, is different than the capacity for staffing, if that makes any sense.
That does.
And one of the reasons why we have to set it lower here is because if we have out-of-district transfers that apply, we have to notify them within a certain amount of time, and that's usually in the middle of the summer. And so if we set everything at 22 or 23 where we staff, and then we have people move in July and August, now our classes are sitting at, 27, 28. So the capacity on here is not our capacity for students in each classroom. It's just what we have chosen for this state mandated transfer policy.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we will vote. Matt Lohman?
Yes.
Randy Long?
Yes.
Kim Tinius?
Yes.
Tori Turnbow?
Yes.
Chad Mance? Yes.
Thank you all for that. And that's something we track every month, as well as the student enrollment. And if and when we have to change, we'll definitely bring it before you all if the change is needed. Okay, going to item F. This is a discussion on Eisenhower Elementary. Want to update everyone. Had a meeting last Friday, I believe it was, with representatives from Vance Air Force Base and the Department of Defense. Colonel Little was on that call. They've asked us to update a few numbers on our application, specifically our capacity numbers for that elementary. Also asking us to update our timeline, so we're working on that, as well as getting some more documentation from Colonel McCurry at Vance Air Force Base. So still working on the application. Once we get those numbers updated, we will resubmit the application again. Also, I spoke to Michael Cooper and Representative Chad Caldwell last week. Both were obviously very supportive of this project, and both are seeking additional funding in their respective areas. Cooper was chasing down a possibility from the federal program. I'm not even going to try to relay the information. And then Representative Caldwell actually spoke on potential funding from the State Department. So both of them see the need and are trying to help us out. Got some really good news today that Mayor Pankinen has actually requested another $210,000 through the Oklahoma Strategic Military Planning Commission. So if he's able to obtain this later this week, that'll put us at $750,000 that Mayor Pankinen has received thus far, which is pretty awesome. Really appreciate him, and in fact, really appreciate all three of them. Michael Cooper's been great, and Mayor Pankinen and Chad Caldwell. But no action items yet. We're still plugging along, and we're still updating that portal. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have at this point. But we're still working on it. Dr. Robinson, did I cover everything? Colonel Little, did I cover everything?
Yes, sir. I went, and when it gets to the only thing is Lieutenant Colonel McQuarrie is on leave. And so, he, right? Yeah, that's why he's skiing, so don't feel too bad.
Gotcha. Okay.
Went to towels. He'll kill me if he knew I told you that. But yes, he's on leave, so he's out of pocket for the week. So he returns on Friday. So when he gets back, he'll finish the actions from Vance.
Perfect.
Over.
Thank you for that.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll get those resubmitted. Okay, that takes me to the, if there's no other questions, that takes me to the next item. That's just the cell phone committee. Want to just make sure everyone's aware of this. We're going to have our second meeting coming up next Wednesday, January 29th. I do, from all my conversations with Chad Caldwell and from other legislators, looks like there is going to be a requirement for policy coming down the pipe this legislative. So I'm very glad we're having this committee and we're having these conversations now. Good, healthy conversation. We had good representation last time across the district from elementary all the way up middle school, high school. Look for something to approve, May or June-ish. But again, I'll keep you all posted on that. But our next meeting will be January 29th. And also, like I said, judging from both the Senate and the House, looks like they're going to require a policy. So again, I think we're going to be in good shape when it comes that time. Okay. Any questions on that? Perfect. I'm going to move on to item H, and that's our strategic planning committee update. We have worked since we've returned from break. We've had a meeting with our administrators. I believe that was January 6th. And last week we met for 2 days with our committee, and we're currently in the phase 3 of this process. And we have identified 4 targeted areas of personnel, student achievement, community and culture, and infrastructure. And those are going to be our 4 targeted areas for us to work on. You should have the initiatives in front of you, paperclip together. And that kind of gives you just a framework and a guideline of where we're going. It's kind of lists out for each one, student achievement 1, and then personnel is the next one, community and culture, and then lastly is infrastructure. So there's a lot of information there, but those are the 4 targeted areas that we are working on in our committee. Also, I alluded to this just a minute ago when Addie was talking. Addie has been on our strategic planning, and Ms. Liddell and the high schoolers have made a short video. Mark, can you cue that up? That's why he dropped the screen for us. The high schoolers did a little video.
Greetings, Payson Plainsman family and our extended Enid community. Today we have an exciting lineup of students to discuss what we did at our strategic planning meeting back in November. Joining me are AHS students, Addie Mears, who's a junior, Carlos Limon, who's a junior, Evelyn Ramos, who's a sophomore, Kate Morris, who's a sophomore, and Meredith Plummer, also a sophomore.
Mr. Liddell, could you start off explaining to us what our mission statement really is and the importance of our strategic planning meeting?
Absolutely, Addie. Our mission statement is the foundation of everything that we do. It outlines our core beliefs, values, and our learner expectations. Strategic planning helps us align our goals and resources to ensure we're meeting these expectations and continuously improving. For example, our mission emphasizes fostering a supportive and inclusive environment for all students, which is why strategic planning is crucial. It allows us to set clear, achievable goals and measure our progress effectively.
Thank you. Meredith, could you share some research-based information on our strategic goal areas?
Of course. Our strategic goal areas include student achievement, culture and climate, personnel, and resources. Each area is critical for creating a supportive and effective learning environment. For example, in student achievement, we looked at test scores, course offerings, and student satisfaction to gauge our process. Research shows that a balanced focus on these areas helps in providing a good and successful education. We analyze data from various sources and identifying trends and areas for improvement, ensuring that our strategies are evidence-based so we can implement them into our district.
That's a great insight. Evelyn, can you elaborate on the specifics of student achievement?
Sure. We focus on various metrics such as test scores, discipline records, and curriculum quality. We also consider advanced placement courses and career tech programs. Our goal is to ensure every student has access to high-quality education and the support they need to succeed. For instance, we recently introduced new STEM programs and partnerships with local businesses to provide students with real-world experiences. We also monitor student progress closely and provide additional support where needed, such as tutoring and mentoring programs.
Excellent points. Carlos, how about culture and climate?
Culture and climate is all about creating a positive and inclusive environment. We conduct surveys, track attendance at conferences, and encourage community involvement through volunteer programs. A supportive culture helps students and staff thrive. We implement initiatives like peer mentoring and cultural awareness workshops to foster a sense of belonging. Additionally, we have regular feedback sessions with students, parents, and staff to ensure that everyone's voice is heard and valued.
Cade, could you discuss our resources area?
Certainly. Resources encompass technology, facilities, grants, and student programs. We aim to provide state-of-the-art tech, maintain our facilities, secure funding through grants, and offer diverse programs and clubs to enrich student experiences. For example, we've upgraded our computer labs and introduced new software tools to enhance learning. We're also continuously seeking grants to fund initiative projects and expand our extracurricular offerings. Our goal is to ensure that every student has access to the resources they need to succeed.
Lastly, I will touch on personnel. Personnel involves ensuring our staff is well qualified and continuously developing. We look at certification, professional development opportunities, and overall staff experiences. Supporting our personnel is key to maintaining high educational standards. We've introduced regular professional development workshops and encourage our staff to pursue further education. Additionally, we have a mentorship program for new teachers to help them integrate smoothly and grow in their roles.
Wow. Thank you all for your insights. This has been a fantastic discussion on our strategic planning and goal areas. Before we wrap up, does anyone have any final thoughts or comments?
I just want to add that strategic planning is a dynamic process. It is important to stay flexible and adapt to new changes and opportunities as they arise. Continuously assessing and feedbacking are key to success.
I agree. Collaboration is also crucial. Engaging with all stakeholders, including students, parents, and the community, ensures that our strategies are well-rounded and effective.
Absolutely. Building strong relationships within the community can provide additional support and resources, making our goals more attainable.
And let's not forget the importance of staying current with technological advancements. Embracing new tools and methods can significantly enhance the learning experience.
Our collective efforts and commitment to our mission will always drive us towards achieving our strategic goals and providing the best possible education for our students.
Thank you all for your valuable contributions. And to wrap up, we are so proud of you guys representing Enid High School with this district-wide process. Our students have all been involved with administrators, so various principals from all different buildings throughout our district, elementary, middle school, high school, board members, our central office administrators, so superintendents, Dr. Darrow, assistant superintendents, Dr. Rhodes and Mr. Rader, a lot of other community representatives, parents, other different folks who interact with us, and for our students to represent in the way they have and to speak at such a high level. And I know some of that was education ease and some fancy terms that they used, but this is what they've been immersed in their first couple of days of this process. And you guys have represented us with style in class, and this sets the future for Enid High School and all the young students coming through Enid Public Schools as they are Pacers and Plainsmen, and to have bright futures going forward and truly to be proud of our district and what we're all about. Very, very special process. We love it. And again, thank you students, and thank you to all of our Pacers and Plainsmen. And again, you've been represented with class and with style and a lot of deep thought. Thanks to the Enid community for supporting all we do at Enid Public Schools. As always, go Big Blue. Cheers.
That was a great video that Miss Liddell made. And Miss Liddell did a great job picking out those 5 kids. They're fun to interact with. But again, I've got a lot of information there in front of you. Those 4 targeted areas of student achievement, personnel, infrastructure, community and culture. Those are the 4 targeted areas that we're going to address, and we are currently in phase 3. We're going to continue working on that and hopefully have something prepared for the May board meeting A lot of community members, as they alluded to as well, been a part of this. Nicole's been a part of it. Tori's been at every meeting too. Tori, you want to chime in anything?
I just am excited about where it's going to take our district, sitting there with everyone, community members, school members. We've had some very constructive conversations, lots of data, and lots of eye-opening moments, but I think it's laying a great framework for us, and I'm excited to see where our district will go.
Me too. It's coming together.
It is.
At times
it's
it's
a little
been
exhausting.
It's been a little exhausting, a little confusing, but it's all coming together. Really excited about it. Any questions on strategic planning? Okay. If none, then I'm going to go to the last item here on my portion, and that's going to be the EPS buyback plan. This is something Dr. Robinson is going to share, but I just want to remind everybody that we adopted this, I believe it was in July, maybe early August, but this is just a way to try to incentivize better attendance for our employees. This is what he's going to report tonight is through our non-12-month employees. Our 12-month employees will reward them in July. So saying all that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Robinson. Can I tell us where we're at?
All right, so just to kind of give us a little bit of summary on that, if an employee, non-12-month, missed 1 or fewer days in the first semester, they were eligible to sell the district back 2 of their personal days. Employees were allowed to opt into that program because they might have something coming up in the spring semester that we're unaware of, and they need their 4 personal days. So once you sell them, they're gone. So that's why those numbers are represented on this document. So just to kind of start on the top part of that document is the actual buyback plan. Important thing to remember is this by semester. So if an employee missed 2 days for whatever reason, 2 sick days, whatever, in the first semester, they're eligible still in the spring semester to sell back 2 more days, whether that's for $250 or $150. So that's kind of the good thing about this. Certified employees, total eligible employees, these are employees that are on contract and have leave time. There's 543 of those. Certified receiving payment is 111. There were 2 employees, they're part-time employees, so they didn't get the 250, they get the 125 because they're part-time. Qualified and opted out, we had 39 that qualified but opted out of the program for whatever reason. And so that means we had 28% that actually met the criteria that we're looking for. So while that may not be much to celebrate, maybe we were looking for 50 or greater, that's 28% of our employees that missed 1 or fewer days. And the semester means they were here for our students, so our hats off to that group. And we paid out a total of $55,000 for that program for certified staff. On the support side, total eligible employees, we had 455 that were eligible. Support receiving the payment were 59. And again, some of that varied because if they're a part-time, they received half of the 150, so they received 75. If they were a crossing guard, then they received a 1/7 of that because they only work 1 hour a day. So just kind of some things to keep in mind there. So we had 59 that qualified, 33 support employees opted out, so we had 20% success rate with our support employees. I mean, that's better than lower than 20, so look at it optimistically. And we paid $16,950 in that. Total payout for the district, and you have to remember this is all cost that we pay on this, is $71,950. So while I was hoping we would spend more, I know it's kind of strange coming from the CFO, we're hoping for better results in the spring because we know the spring semester is when it gets late in the spring. People think I need that personal day off. We're hoping that maybe they're thinking I could get a little bonus come May by selling that back, and maybe they'll have a second thought about taking that personal leave. So we'll see how the second semester goes, and we'll report this all back to you guys come June.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Any questions on that program?
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Sam, for the ones that qualified and opted out, will they have the opportunity, if they don't take those days in the second semester, will they have the opportunity to get that money?
No, because they opted out of the program. So, the ones that I talked to some of them just because I know them, and I'm like, hey, why would you, because I was curious, like, why would you opt out? And they're like, well, I have this vacation I was planning, or I'm planning on having this procedure done, or I even had one that's parents were not in good health. And they're like, I know I'm going to have to do something with them in the spring, so I don't want to lose that time off. So I haven't talked to anyone that just opted out because of fear of not getting a payment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm happy. Like Dr. Robinson said, I mean, we're got a good starting point. We're rewarding some of our great employees that are here every day, and we'll see where it goes second semester. We'll report back to you. Okay, I think that is the conclusion of Superintendent's report.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Darrow. That takes us to item 4, regular business. 4A, discuss and possible action to approve the following consent agenda items. We can take item 1 through 6 as consent agenda. Okay, we have a motion by Matt Lohman,
Second.
second by Tori Turnbow. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote. Matt Lohman?
Yes.
Randy Long?
Yes.
Kim Tinius?
Yes.
Tori Turnbow?
Yes.
Chad Mance, yes. Okay, item 4B, discuss and possible action to approve the district financial report for December 2024. Dr. Robinson.
All right, finance report, we're in really good shape once again. Collections for revenue are coming in right as expected. We did get our midterm adjustment. It's just a little over $200,000 more than the initial, which we're very grateful for. There are other districts took a cut at midterm, so we're thankful that did not happen to us. And so, again, also expenditures, we're right in line with expenditures, even with paying out this additional pay. There's really no concerns at this time. I do know that we are pumping the brakes, so to speak, on expenditures, and that will continue, really trying to narrow things down to what do we need, not what do we want so much. And there are a lot of needs out there, but like I said, we're pumping the brakes. We're not putting it to a complete stop, but we are slowing that down, and still anticipating next year really slowing it down even more, making sure we stay within budget and we don't find ourselves in some type of negative hole, and stay in a good financial standing.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Robinson. Do I have a motion?
Move we approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Tori Turnbow. A second. Have a second by Matt Lohman. Is there any discussion? Okay, we will vote. Matt Lohman?
Yes.
Randy Long?
Yes.
Kim Tinius?
Yes.
Tori Turnbow?
Yes.
Chad Mance, yes. Takes us to item 5, new business. Any business that has arisen that could not have been foreseen or known about at the time of the regular agenda was posted.
No, sir.
We have nothing there. Item 6, reports, information, items of information, board comments and/or questions. Colonel Little, you got anything for us?
Just to repeat what I said earlier about we will get, obviously we'll continue to get this package, however OLDC and SAF AF want it. We thought we were there, right? And here we are again, so it is what it is. And I'm not sure that I've made this announcement before, but you all realize that command out in any command job is 2 years. So my time is coming to an end. I'll be out of here this coming summer. So it just seems to go very fast. I'm like, I just got here, right? I remember my first day here, and I took a picture, Facebooked it. Look, Mom, I made it, right? And so, but I've been selected to be, I'm going to Air Force Global Strike. And Global Strike owns our bomber community as well as nuclear enterprise and some other things. And so my career field, I'm a personnel, I'll say essentially HR by trade. And so I'm kind of going back into that community at the MAGCOM level. And so Global Strike has about 33,000 airmen. And I said, I thought I was going into this. I was hoping to get a little less stress, but maybe not. A different kind of stress for sure, but it is what it is. And so I'll be going to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. Barksdale is in Bossier City, which neighbors, Shreveport, Louisiana. So my evil genius plan is to lose about 50 pounds because I plan to eat everything I see in Louisiana. If you've never had Cajun or Creole food, you're missing out on some of the best food on the planet. So excited about that for the new adventures and a different atmosphere and so forth. Just another evolution in my career and in my life. I've only been to the same assignment twice, and that's in DC at half, but I count it as kind of one time. So that'll make the 20th assignment for me. So I've been to 20 places in my career, and so it's kind of cool to almost everywhere I go is a new place, right? It's a new pin in the map. So But believe me, it's about 5 months out, I suppose, which of course will come very fast. But I will miss this place. I will miss each one of you. This has been a great assignment for all kinds of reasons. My successor has been named. It's Colonel Benjamin Hans. He's right now at Los Angeles Air Force Base. And so he and I will probably have our change of command in the June timeframe. If there's an opportunity for turnover, of course, I'll facilitate that. But like myself, if not, of course, Nicole will do a great job of making sure that he's properly, introduced and so forth and so on. But again, it's a little ways away. By the same token, since I know now officially, I want to let you all know that as well. But don't count me out, because I am still here. And I totally expect to stay in touch. So thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Little. Is there any other board member have any comments or questions? Okay, we'll move to item 7. The next regular meeting is February 17th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Administrative Service Center boardroom, this room right here. Item 8, discussion and possible action to approve a proposed executive session to discuss the employment of those individuals and/or positions listed on the attached Exhibit A, to complete the superintendent's evaluation and discuss the renewal of their superintendent's contract, negotiations concerning employees and/or representatives of employee groups, and possible purchase or appraisal of real property.
So moved.
I have a motion by Tori. Have a second?
I second.
Have a second by Randy Long. Any discussion for that? Okay, we will vote. Matt Sampson?
No.
Excuse me, Matt Lohman?
Yes.
Randy Long?
Yes.
Kim Tinius?
Yes.
Tori Turnbow?
Yes.
Chad Mance, yes. Executive session, 6:56.